Have you ever heard a story so wild, so unbelievable, that it sounds like something straight out of a Hollywood movie? Today, we're diving into the real-life accounts of people who stared death in the face and somehow, against all odds, walked away. These aren't just stories of luck. They're testaments to the raw, untamed power of the human will to survive. So buckle up, because things are about to get intense. Let's start with a fall that should have been fatal. Imagine being a window washer on a 47-story skyscraper. That was the reality for Alcides Marino and his brother Edgar. One December morning in New York City, the unthinkable happened. Their scaffolding platform plunged 47 stories, nearly 500 feet to the ground below. Tragically, Edgar did not survive the fall. But Alcides? First responders found him conscious, sitting amidst the wreckage. He had suffered catastrophic injuries: broken legs, arms, and ribs, severe damage to his spine and internal organs. Doctors gave him almost no chance of survival. He was in a coma for weeks, but slowly, miraculously, Alcides began to recover. He had to learn to walk and talk all over again. Today, he's considered a medical miracle, a man who fell from the sky and lived to tell the tale. His story isn't just about surviving a fall. It's about the incredible resilience of the human body and spirit. From the concrete jungle, let's journey to the actual jungle. In 1981, a young adventurer named Yossi Ginsberg set off into the Bolivian Amazon with 3 other travelers. What was supposed to be the adventure of a lifetime quickly turned into a nightmare. Separated from his group after a rafting accident, Yossi found himself completely alone, lost in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. For 3 agonizing weeks, he battled starvation, relentless insects, flash floods, and close encounters with jaguars. He survived by eating whatever he could find: monkeys, wild fruit, even raw eggs from nests. Hallucinating from hunger and infection, there were countless moments he was ready to give up. He was on the brink of death when, by sheer chance, one of the original members of his party, who had organized a search party, found him. Yossi had lost over 30 pounds and was covered in infections, but he was alive. His ordeal became the basis for the book and movie Jungle, a chilling reminder of nature's power and one man's refusal to surrender. Now, how about surviving not just a remote island, but being lost at sea for over a year? In late 2012, Jose Salvador Alvarenga, an experienced fisherman, set out from the coast of Mexico for a 2-day fishing trip with a young crewmate. A massive storm hit, disabling their boat's engine and radio. They were adrift in the vast Pacific Ocean. For 438 days, they survived on a diet of raw fish, turtles, and small birds. They drank rainwater when they could, and in desperate times, turtle blood and their own urine. The psychological toll was immense. Sadly, his younger companion couldn't handle the raw food diet and passed away after a few months. Alvarenga was left utterly alone. He fought off despair, sharks, and the scorching sun. Finally, after drifting an unimaginable 6,700 miles, his boat washed ashore on a remote atoll in the Marshall Islands. He was gaunt and disoriented, but alive. His story is one of the longest solo survival at sea journeys ever recorded, a staggering tale of endurance against the lonely, endless ocean. Surviving a fall or the wilderness is one thing, but what about surviving the raw, destructive power of the weather? Let's talk about the tri-state tornado of 1925, the deadliest tornado in U.S. history. It tore a 219-mile path of destruction across Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. In the middle of this chaos was a man named Harrison Clevenger. As the monster tornado bore down on his Illinois farm, he rushed his family into their storm cellar. But the storm's power was so immense, it ripped the cellar door right off its hinges. The suction pulled Harrison out, launching him into the swirling vortex of debris. He was reportedly carried for over a quarter of a mile before being thrown into a field. When he came to, He was battered and bruised, but incredibly alive. He managed to crawl back to his farm to find his home completely obliterated, but his family, safe in the cellar, had survived. Harrison Clevenger literally flew in a tornado and lived, a feat that sounds like pure fiction. Now for a story that combines extreme weather with being lost. In 1982, mountaineer Aaron Ralston, yes, the man from the movie 127 Hours, had another brush with death years before his famous canyon accident. While backcountry skiing alone in the Rocky Mountains, he was caught in a massive avalanche. He was completely buried under several feet of snow, trapped in an air pocket, but with no way to dig himself out. With only minutes of air, he used his ski pole to frantically poke a hole to the surface, allowing him to breathe. But he was still trapped. For days, he survived in his snow cave, rationing his meager food supply and melting snow for water. He was suffering from hypothermia and frostbite. After 4 days, just as he was losing hope, a search helicopter spotted the tip of his ski pole sticking out of the snow. He was rescued just in the nick of time. This earlier ordeal undoubtedly forged the mental fortitude he would later need in that Utah canyon. Let's go back to another incredible fall survivor. Vesna Valavio was a flight attendant on JATA, Flight 367 in 1972. A bomb exploded in the luggage compartment, tearing the plane apart at 33,333 feet. Vesna, pinned to the rear of the aircraft by a food cart, plummeted to the ground inside a section of the fuselage. She landed on a snowy, wooded mountainside in Czechoslovakia, which cushioned the impact. A villager who had been a medic in World War II found her in the wreckage. She had a fractured skull, 3 broken vertebrae, and was in a coma for almost a month. Her legs were temporarily paralyzed. Doctors were certain she would not survive, let alone walk again, but Vesna defied them all. She not only survived, but made a near-full recovery, aside from a permanent limp. She holds the Guinness World Record for surviving the highest fall without a parachute. When asked about it, she said she had no memory of the crash at all. Her last memory was greeting passengers, and her next was waking up in the hospital. These stories are more than just incredible tales. They are profound examples of human tenacity. Whether it's the physical resilience to withstand a 47-story fall or the mental strength to endure 438 days alone at sea, these survivors show us what we're truly capable of when pushed to the absolute limit. They faced the impossible and refused to give in. It makes you wonder, what hidden strengths do we all possess, waiting for a moment we hope never comes? What did you think of these unbelievable stories? Which one shocked you the most? I'd love to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you found these stories as inspiring and mind-boggling as I did, do me a favor and hit that like button. And of course, if you want more deep dives into incredible true stories and mysteries, make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.